Good evening, Professor, and whoever else sees this. My name is Ethan Lavoie. I'm standing out here in front of Bartram Trail High School. I don't know how well you can see it behind me. Standing out here in front of Bartram Trail High School. My research project was actually on the traffic and parking systems for Bartram Trail High School, and whether or not they should be optimized, and what we can do to optimize those systems. And as a part of my survey, or as a part of my project, I actually put out a survey that said, the objective was with this survey to answer that question, among former and current students and faculty, what were your experiences with the parking and traffic systems? And the simple question was, hey, look, what is your overall experience with the parking system? What is your overall experience with the traffic system? And I got some pretty interesting responses. Almost everyone had, on average, a negative view of both. But what was interesting was that more people had a negative view of the traffic systems, or negative experiences with the traffic systems when compared to the parking systems. And, I was thinking about that after the survey. I was looking at the results, and I was like, how does this make sense? Because personally, I had a worse view of the parking systems. Because I was unfortunately I was assigned the gravel and dirt parking lot every day for the last 2 years I was there. And I realized, I was like, only about a third to a half of people actually even end up parking in the gravel lots. So the majority, whereas the majority, everyone that attends the school, either works here or studies here, is going to have some experience with the traffic at some point. No matter how early you get here, you're always going to have some level of traffic to get on and off campus. And the reason for that, and so let me back up. So the key takeaway from that survey was, what we can do to help the majority of the people, improve their experience at Bartram Trail High School would be to optimize this traffic system, right? Reduce the amount of time that it takes to get on and off campus every day. So then, kind of to give you some background information on the cause of that, I don't know how well you can see behind me, but there's actually only 3 lanes of traffic on this entrance and exit. 2 lanes to exit, 1 to turn left, 1 to turn right, and then 1 lane to enter. And as you can imagine, this is a pretty big school, so you have about 2,500 students and faculty that have to come on campus every day. And having them all funnel basically onto 1 lane of traffic is pretty brutal. It's really time consuming, and it causes a lot of congestion. Not only along, to get into the school, but also on this main road behind me, Longleaf Pine Parkway. I think you can see that there's not a whole lot of people driving out here this late at night. But during the morning when everyone's trying to get to work and get to school, it gets pretty busy. And, effectively what happens is, because there's so much congestion at the school, you effectively have one of each lane of traffic on Longleaf Pine Parkway, the one going north and one going south, completely cut off as students and faculty are waiting in line to get into school. And so that causes a lot of problems for, obviously it's painful for the students, but also for people just trying to get to work every day, right? You get up and you get up early to go to work, and you get up in front of the school and it's half an hour wait. It's ridiculous. One of the not fun but interesting moments I had actually was about 6 months ago. I just give you some background context. I graduated high school about 1.5 years ago. Haven't experienced anything with the traffic system since that time. But actually, I got up one morning and I was running a little bit late. And so unfortunately, I had to drive by the school during peak rush hour. And man, I was so late to work. It was half an hour of congestion added to my commute. That was just, I was just flabbergasted. I was like, wow, this is really, this is not necessary and really sucks for everyone involved. There was a line of cars, probably 200 cars long, just backed up, and all these people are now late to work because the system is not very good. And so, there's also some problems with safety, of course, right? As you can imagine, you have a bunch of angry students waiting in line. They're getting a little impatient. They're on their phones. They got somewhere to be, a date to go on, or, whatever, soccer practice to get to. Sometimes they'll do some irrational things, to try to skip the line or whatever. And I kind of outlined that in my research project, and it causes a lot of problems, a lot of safety issues. I actually saw, in a span of a few months, I actually saw 2 or 3 accidents literally right behind me, just merging onto this. People were not paying attention. It's probably one of the more heavily, accident prone areas in the county as a whole, really. Really, I think we need to do something to optimize it. But yeah, so anyways, in terms of optimization, I think that the best way to kind of fix this problem with the traffic is to add more lanes of traffic, right? So add more lanes to the entrance and exit. As you can see behind me, there's actually a pretty good amount of grass area that you have plenty of room. Same thing on the other side here by the exit side. So you have plenty of room here to, add another lane or even 2 lanes on each side of traffic, to the entrance and exit, effectively doubling your, flow rate of students on and off campus. And kind of the cool thing too is like, it's not like you have 2,000 students all coming in at exactly 8:15. Unfortunately, some people arrive a little bit early, or some a little bit late. Some people arrive a little early. So you have about 2,000 students, 2,500 students arriving within like half an hour window. And so, you have a constant inflow of people coming. As long as you can keep up with that inflow, hopefully by, adding another lane of traffic, you can really basically almost have zero congestion, right? It'll be a very smooth line. It'll be like, you probably wait 2 or 3 minutes, right? Just to wait your turn for oncoming traffic to stop so you can come in. But other than that, I think that this would really help things. The system we have right now is really bad. A lot of people are, it causes a lot of problems. And, in terms of costs, I don't think, because we have so much space, there's not a lot of, you don't have to do any land clearing. The only thing you have to do is land preparation, then obviously laying the asphalt as well. But, a couple of things. This school makes a lot of money off their parking systems. I referenced this in my essay, actually. They actually charge about $100 per student to park there every year. So there's a good amount of revenue that comes from that. And then additionally, St. Johns County is actually one of the wealthiest counties in Florida. It's certainly the fastest growing. And we have a big student population here, right? A lot of kids in high school and middle school and elementary school. So there's a lot of money out there. And the cost is relatively low to do this, right? So the money is out there, the cost is low, the need is there, and the money is readily available. So, I don't think that it would be a big stretch to get something like this done. You're looking at maybe $100,000, $200,000. As long as I get some competent, contractors in there to do it, and would really benefit a lot of people, right? You have 2,000 students every day during the school year that we benefited, and then everyone else that's commuting to and from work each day. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my research project. I hope this was helpful. I do apologize for not being able to get out here earlier in the day. Unfortunately, I have a pretty busy work schedule, so I wasn't able to get out here during the prime rush hour. But I do, in my essay, reference my 4 years of experience living here or going to school here. And I think that kind of painted a really clear picture of what it looks like. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. Really appreciate you and whoever else sees this. And have a great night.